out. They talking slick in the city like they Billy Crystal. Couldn't afford the Applebee's, we had to eat the crystals. And the Mickey D's, and the Burger King. I'm feeling blessed now, just had a mini-me. And I know right now they ain't feeling me. And I know right now they ain't hearing me. And I won't ever stop, I got that energy. They throwing stones, I won't quit this for infinity.
There you go. You went too early, brother.
Bro, we got, hey man, look, man, we on episode 9, man. We still getting this intro together. But when that thing hit, that thing gonna slap.
Yep.
Email you the show. What's going on? What's going on, Wontae?
What's going on, man? Just got my son with me, so
it's all good. Yeah, man. We got
a bit unorthodox.
We got a special guest up in here. You know what I'm saying? We got QB1. You know what I'm saying? First round pick. You know what I'm saying? Mad Hatter. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
You talking about son head, bro?
Big Papa Pop. You know what I'm saying? We got my boy up in here, Big Jonah. What going on, man?
You gonna speak?
Big facts. Big facts.
You sleepy? Lay down.
You know what I'm saying? My boy just got up. You know what I'm saying? He decided to be on the pod today. You know what I'm saying?
Grace us with his presence. On the pod today.
You know what I'm saying? We eternally grateful. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for
gracing us with
your presence.
Think about it, bro. 20 years from now, man, when we on episode 1000 or whatever.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? My guy might really be a guest, you know what I'm saying, on our pod.
Yeah, he'll be a guest.
You know what I'm saying? We get to go back to that. I wish we could record this, bro. But we're going to get there. We're going to
get there, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Man, I'm with my boy, man. Look, man, we just had lit, you know what I'm saying, off the camera discussion, man. You know, I'm going to tell you something, bro. You always give me my flowers, bro. I want to give you yours, bro. For stepping out on your music, bro. For stepping into being a counselor, bro. Helping thousands of kids, bro. You're the real article, bro. You the real McCoy, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't went and streamed any of my boy music, he got a new song out called Eurus. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had to look up what a Eurus was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I listened to the song a few times. Oh, okay, it's a car. So you could tell I ain't
expensive car.
Yeah, it's a real expensive car, you know what I'm saying? He talking about being with a lady, you know what I'm saying, in the Eurus, you know what I'm saying, whipping the foreign, if it's a foreign.
It's
you
a
know
foreign. It's a Lamborghini.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. All right. Man, we gonna holler.
Trying to come yours. The woman that goes in the seat.
Hey man, go get that right there, bro. It's streaming everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify. You know what I'm saying?
YouTube.
If you haven't tapped into my guy catalog, man, look, you missing out, bro. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a Christian rapper. He a rapper that's Christian. That's big facts.
Wait, I'm a Christian rapper, bro.
Bro, you could have let that ride.
You right. I could have let that ride.
Bro, hey, bro, that's that older sibling stuff, bro. I just want to give you it, bro.
The reason why is because that actual topic is so big in like Christian hip hop. It's like people be coming for people, throwing shade, saying like, yeah, like people say Aha is like they say he's a rapper that's Christian, not a Christian rapper, you know, or John Keith, you know what I'm saying? Like the only Christian rappers you really got is like Hovey or Caleb Gordon or people Lecrae, possibly, because he is, but like because there's a KB Christian rapper, yeah, you right, because there are certain styles and the way the lyrics go from Christian rappers to people who are considered rappers that are Christian, like, but I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm both, you know what I'm saying, I'm a Christian at the end of the day.
Get you somebody that can do both.
Is that, you know, just like the boy Sway said, you know, I'm both, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
I've had my times where I like Midnight Cap freestyle, where I was just like,
my boy spaz,
like went crazy, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not gonna
did that.
That's not.
Bro, that joint goes hard.
It is hard, bro. But that's not really me.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Because I do want my music to relay a message of, you know, Jesus Christ and, you know, stuff like that. But I do also want to make music people can just turn on and just have fun to. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, and I think too, I think people really don't know, man. Like, bro, it's a lot of Christian rappers out here, man, who, when you listen to them, bro, they go.
Yeah.
Like, I think, man, and I get, like, it ain't, yeah, I guess, whatever, it ain't popular, whatever, it's like that. But, man, I listen to a lot of Christian artists, and I be like, man, these cats, like KB is like one of my favorite rappers, bro. No Big Deal.
Yeah.
Like these cats, man, when I be listening to them, I like, bro, if they ever switched up,
Yeah.
bro, it'd be problems for cats out
That's
here.
why I don't know who I was telling that.
These
but I was
artists
like,
out here that rap now, man, bro, they ain't all that, bro.
They not.
They not
saying
good,
the
bro.
same thing every song, a different way, different
Right.
beat.
Drug
like,
use,
exactly.
drug whatever.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, I'm tired of that, bro.
Like it take when I sit here and write a song, like Midnight Cap freestyle. Like I'm telling you, that song, it took me 10 minutes, 15 minutes to write that song.
Cause there's no restriction.
There's nothing. There's nothing holding
I
me
can
back.
go wherever
I'm
I
just
want.
going.
I can go wherever I want to go.
Right. But when I wrote Emergence or Way Too Blessed, like or Life,
That guy,
you know,
yeah.
or that guy was kind of easy, but those songs where it's like you can tell that like these lyrics are like that take a little time.
That take time.
It take time to write it, and then it take
while
time
to perfect it.
to deliver it. I mean, even though I didn't deliver my best on Emergence or that guy because I was new, but like the writing was there. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, and I know you gonna stamp that on Emergence, but yeah, bro, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get better. Just trying to keep
Because
better.
we talked about this last in a couple episodes ago about dreams. If you haven't tapped into it, tap in. But we talk about sometimes you're gonna have to just step out. You just gonna have to go when you ain't got no answers, you ain't got no blueprint, you ain't got nothing, and you gonna have to just step out and just do. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, cause you're gonna think about it years from now and wish you can go back in time. Speaking of going back in time, bro, I got an icebreaker.
That
bro.
transition with fire, bro.
I appreciate
That
it,
transition with fire, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
bro. I got a big question now. For all of y'all who don't know, when I ask this question, you know what I'm saying? Everybody out there can answer. I'm just gonna go ahead and answer. If you could go back to any point in time in history, where would you go? Now I want y'all to understand. I'm black, okay?
Me too.
And my boy black. So now our
Black, y'all.
our answers are gonna be predicated. I think that's the right word. I hope I don't be that person that be using the wrong
use the
word.
words you know.
Yeah, bro.
It's okay. You educated. Just go.
Yeah, it's gonna be predicated. Oh man, I hope that's the right word. If it ain't, bro, just leave a comment though. And just be like, nah, Jason, that ain't right. That ain't right.
That ain't what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be based on the fact that we are black. So I'm gonna be honest with you. That from 68 on back, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I might not even step through there. I ain't gonna even go to the door.
I mean, you gotta be honest. Like, why would we? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Why would you go back to that? So I can imagine that the 70s they say was a wild time. The 80s, you know what I'm saying, was a wild time.
Still wild.
Yeah, indeed. And the 90s, bro. Like, so, bro, if you could go back any point in time, bro, where would you go to?
I feel like the easy answer would be to say like I'll go back to live as like a young adult in like the 80s and 90s, which I love the 80s. That's my like favorite decade.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. 80s music slaps so hard. That retro synth wave, it's just cold. It's just it's something about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but definitely 90s got the drip to the T. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But I think
90s, I feel like with black folk coming out party.
yeah, for sure.
Because we had everything
We had
on lock in
everything
the 90s.
hip hop popping off in like the late
Music,
80s.
period.
Yeah, and just a lot of. But if I'm avoiding the '80s and '90s decade, which I love. I probably.
Now the 2000s in there too. Now
I mean, but we grew up in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Did we though?
We did, bro. Like we did. We grew up in the 2000s. We were young, but like I got those memories fresh in my head. You know what I'm saying? It was a simple time for sure.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? It was a simple time. But I think I would.
And you the age you are now when you go back in time.
When I go back.
Yeah. So we 30-year-olds and whatever.
I think I want to go back. I'm just gonna say this, like, to biblical times.
Okay.
Like, I think I would want to, like, just 80s. I mean, yeah, 90s, yeah, but like, I want to go back to biblical times. Like, I want to go walk the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I would want to walk up to the Garden of Eden and see the angel that God placed to block it. You know what I'm saying? And, or go see the miracles of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Just be in that time. You know what I'm saying? And witness, like witness just the stories of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Giants and stuff, and all that type of stuff. So I think if I give you a basic answer, I'll go back to the 80s. But if I give you like an answer where I'm really trying to see something, like take me back.
Bro, I ain't even think about it like that, bro. Yeah. That's a hard answer, bro. Now that I think about it, bro, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I go back, like, you know what I'm saying, just like you said, bro, I think, man, the 70s, man, as far as music, like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the BG studio when I would love to be a fly on the wall because I feel like a great monument. Like, I feel like those 70s and 80s, like, music was just off the charts. Like, yeah, we like the 90s. We like some of the 2000s stuff because we grew up with it. Yeah. But, man, there are still songs, bro, being used, being played from the 70s, bro.
From the 70s, 60, 70, 80, and 90s.
Bro, and when I tell you, bro, to be a fly on the wall, to just be in the studio to hear James Brown say it loud on Black and Proud, to be in the studio, to be in the crowd when Michael Jackson do the moonwalk
the first time, that'd be crazy.
Because it's like for to be at the slam dunk contest with Jordan glide from the three point, like, bro, it's so many eras to go back to, but I think I would go back to the 70s, bro. Yeah. I think the 70s, man, was a place, man, where black folk was being even like the civil rights movement was. I think I think it was still going around that time, but people were they were going afros. It was unapologetically. It was unapologetically like black, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was that. But if I could go back to see something in history. Man, this actually gonna sound pretty wild, man. I would want to go back to the kingdom where Mansa Musa was king over, just to see how. I just would like to see how much, like how rich he was, like how did it look for black folks, like in robes and being kings and all this other stuff. I just would want to just see that. Because I think that would instill a perspective that is not taught at school, that's not taught many places about black folk. And, I try not to be too pro-black on here, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like one of these episodes, I'm just going to unleash because it's going to be a lot of stuff I need to talk about. It's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But them the two places I would go back to, man. Yeah. Them two places I would, you know what I'm saying? That's how I would, you know what I'm saying? I would separate separate those things out, man. I would go this place if I wanted to see something. I would go this place to do this, and I think that would, you know what I'm saying. I think that when you had to come back to this time, it would affect you.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying. You know what else affect people, man?
What?
Sometimes divorced parents, man. Let's talk about it, man.
Man,
Let's
that
talk
man.
about it.
That boy got them transitions. What?
Last episode, if you listened in, if you didn't listen in, stop the podcast, go back. We was talking about upbringing, how me and Wontae came up. You know, both of us kind of grew up in middle to lower class. I think I was kind of more of a middle class or whatever, it's like that. But one of the things that derived from our conversation is my mom and my dad are still married today. I think they on year 36 or 37. But Wontae's that, man, bro, it's crazy. I had to, man, my dad put me on some game. He was like, man, Jason, I said, Dad, how y'all stay married that long? He said, man, you learn one to forgive, you learn to compromise, and you just learn, Jason, everything that come up can't come out.
Yep.
You gotta want to be married. You gotta want to be married 37 years. That just is what it is. I ain't talking about. You know, of course we love each other, but you gotta want to be married that many years. So I've noticed around my friend circle is that, and we did something this past Sunday because, you know, we in a group together because we trying to do big things. We trying to go places. Yeah. If you trying to go places, you know what I'm saying, you need to get you some people that can keep you accountable. Shout out to the village. And I noticed that a lot of people didn't have a lot of successful marriages that they could point out. It was a question asked about how many successful marriages do you know, and there wasn't a lot of hands up. I think me and Sherry probably had the most, because I think Sherry's parents are still together, but my wife's her bio dad and her bio mom, they end up getting a divorce. And you know, a couple of our friend groups, they parents didn't make it, but Wontae was one of the people, and he talked about that. So I just want to know, Wontae, man, if you could take us through a few things, you know what I'm saying, full vulnerability, if you want to go there, cool, about what does that do to a kid personally. What does a ended marriage, a divorce, do for a child? And you the oldest, so you got to see, you know what I'm saying, it kind of bright and clear.
Yeah.
What is that? How does that affect you? How does that affect kids? How do you think, what lessons do you take away from that you don't apply to like your marriage?
Oh, so I know one of the things that I like reflect on as a kid, my parents being divorced, was like my ability to like stand up for myself at a certain age, you know, especially in school, you know what I'm saying? Like I be around these kids now, and like everybody ready to fight. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like even the person that know they're gonna lose, they ready to fight. And it sounds bad, but how'd you say?
That's tough.
Yeah, it's
finna get hyped up to take a L. I don't know about it.
But I mean, but like the thing was, they weren't scared. They weren't scared. They were
Facts.
confident in a ability to win the fight. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have that, and I think that my parents being divorced and not having my dad there, it took me a while to like come into like my manhood. You know what I'm saying? Where I was just like, you know, like, this is, you know what I'm saying, you know, I smack you down, you know what I'm saying, or just stand up for myself, you know, because I got picked on, I got beat up real bad. I ain't gonna say real bad, I didn't get beat up, but I got hit in my, like I got punched in the face, sucker punched a few times, and I used to always ask myself, like, why I'm not fighting these folks, but I'll fight my brother, I'll fight my cousin, but like these folks, you know, picking on me while I'm not standing up for myself. And as I got older, I even though my uncle, Auntie Rosie's husband, who passed away, rest in peace, Uncle Jelline, but like he was like we would always go over there, go to the park, and I saw how tough he was. I saw how tough my cousins were, you know what I'm saying? They ain't, you know, so I kind of had the little balance, you know what I'm saying? And my daddy, you know, he was in my life. And he was in my life, you know, he's always been in my life. But I feel like in those early years, I kind of didn't get to see on a day-to-day basis, like, what it was to be a man, you know what I'm saying? What it was to be a man and how you stand up for yourself. But on a deeper level, I used to be like when we used to hang out with Brian and you know, we go over to this just, you know, full, you know, vulnerability, like just me being honest. Like when I used to like kick it, we used to kick it, and like all y'all, you, Wolf, Brian, all y'all parents were married still. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I used to like, especially when we got to high school, started driving, we used to like go over each other's house a lot. And I used to be like, dang, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is biological mom, biological dad, this, that. And I used to feel sad sometimes. Like, I used to be like, you know, I used to always wonder, you know, what would it be like if my mom and my dad were still together? You know what I'm saying? Like, would we, you know, what would it be like? You know what I'm saying? And I never really thought much of it other than just like I would have loved for my parents to be still married, but not understand. Obviously, I didn't know why it didn't work until I got older. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, it probably was for the best. You know what I'm saying? No, sir. It's probably for the best that y'all didn't stay together or whatever. But I think being the oldest, it didn't really affect me because my two little brothers, my dad remarried my stepmom. So they're you know, they grew up with mom and daddy married, right? Together. And me and David didn't. You know what I'm saying? We grew up with mama, stepdaddy, daddy, stepmama. And I think it affected him more than it affected me.
Your little brother. Oh, okay.
Yeah, David. So like, cause he talks about it sometimes, and I could tell that it, like, you know, it affected him a certain way. Cause he'll bring up stuff about, you know, dad being with my two little brothers, you know, with football games and stuff like that. And so I definitely can tell that it affected him differently than it affected me. I've always been because I am the oldest, and my parents did divorce, and even though my dad and my mom would have did anything I needed them to do for me, I in a sense I raised myself after like high school. Well, obviously I'm grown at this point, but like
the life lessons that you gathered was kind of like I just learned this on my own.
I just learned it on my own.
I got
you know
it
what I'm saying?
Myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just learned it on my own, and I kind of grew independent of, you know, kind of reflecting and reflecting on my parents' divorce, because it happened when I was 4 and David was 2, I believe. So I was real young.
Oh, so honestly, man, do you remember your mom and dad being together?
I remember my mom and dad being together. There's a memory I have, 2 memories that I can think of. One, we got in an accident when I was a kid. We got hit, and I was being all dramatic, like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die!" And my dad was like, "Be quiet, we ain't gonna die." And then, cause we like spun out, we got hit in the tail and spun out. And then there's a memory I have of we stayed in a townhouse, and me and my brother, we were just, David was still crawling at the time, and he was just crawling around the floor, and he ate something off the floor. But those are the 2 memories I have, you know, as with my parents together, that I remember.
But so do you? So I mean, of course, you 39.
Yeah.
So that's you know, that's been 26 years of them being like separated. So I guess you kind of just remember one day them just not being together, like your dad staying over here and your mom staying over here.
Yeah, that's
it was like the norm. Was it like a normalcy that you was like, oh, okay, all right?
I guess.
Did they explain to you that they was like? I mean, of course you were 4, so they probably didn't.
Yeah.
And how long they were married before before they got divorced?
How long they was married?
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not too long. Maybe like 5 so years.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you. I got you. But it's just, I just was thinking about that. Like, you know, you say you remember your mom and dad being married, but you know what I'm saying, you was 4 years old. So, like, I think a normalcy kind of set in that, you know what I'm saying. Like, hey, this just how it's just like you said, just like this how it just always been.
Like you said, I just remember like, cause outside of those 2 memories, I don't remember much of them together. I just remember my mama saying like, y'all going over your dad's house this weekend, and it was an apartment. He was staying in this 1-bedroom apartment, and so like I remember that. And that's I just remember waking up and not waking up. I just remember going to my dad's house, and then that was it. That became the norm over the years. It was like, we're going over dad's house this weekend, going over dad's house this weekend, going to dad's house this weekend. And
so, my bad, man.
Go ahead. You good.
I got a question. So when did you realize that it? And I hate to use this word, but it wasn't like. I mean, of course, it's often that people get divorced, but when did you realize that it wasn't like normal? Like you seen people like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You seen like what's the first marriage you remember like seeing? You was like, dang, y'all still married? Like
probably Auntie Rosie and Uncle Jelani. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Auntie Betty was a single parent, my mama was a single parent, but Auntie Rosie and Jelani lived in the same house. They were married. They had 4 kids. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying. That's like the first time I'll probably say I remember, because you know we were all close when we were little. So it was that I was like, okay. I said, so why are y'all ain't together? So they go proceed. We got a divorce. You know what I'm saying. And my mama would say certain things why it wouldn't work. My daddy never did. Until I got older, and I asked him about it. So, yeah, Auntie Rosie and Uncle Jelani, they were married, and they lived in the same house with their kids. So that was the first marriage, and that kind of made me see like, okay. And then that made me ask the question, you know, why y'all not together? And they say, you know, it just didn't work out, whatever. But I wasn't really like, just like, you know how you see in movies and stuff, people get divorced and stuff like that. It wasn't nothing like that. Like I said, when I got to 5th grade and started hanging out with y'all and Brian, that's when it like kind of started a little more. Cause I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, Brian got his people. They got a nice house, clean house. You know, we go here, we got roaches, it's stinking here, and all this stuff. So, yeah. That was the like the thing that brought it to my attention, and I never really like.
So it seemed like it never really kind of affected you in a sense, outside of going and seeing it elsewhere.
Yeah, outside of just thinking like what it would have been like to have my parents together. You know what I'm saying? It really didn't make me feel any type of way. But like when I got older and got to like closer to middle school age, you know, when them hormones and those, you know, puberty and stuff like that, I started having some strong emotions about it for a little bit. You know, like why y'all ain't together? I remember riding down the street one day with my mama. If y'all hear snoring, my son is sleeping in my arms. But just you know, let y'all know. But
man, we full blown parents, dog.
Men like us.
Indeed.
But so I remember riding down the street in South Jackson, because that's where I spent majority of my childhood.
Southside.
Yeah, South Jackson, and I can't remember the street, but it was over. Anyway, you know where that car is in South Jackson? That's on top of the billboard.
Man, I know exactly.
Yeah, we was over there somewhere. And,
okay. That joint, you see that joint? Yeah, I know exactly where that joint.
So we was over there, and I remember riding down the street, and we were actually going back to Fannin, which is where we ended up moving. We were going back to my stepdad's house at the time, and I just remember like crying, like bust out crying in the car, like just all type of emotions, like just mad, crying. And my mom was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I really don't know what was wrong, but the first thing that I said was that I miss my dad. I miss my dad, and cause he was a truck driver. And at that time he was like over the road. Like he would be gone like 2 weeks at a time, something like that. Like he was driving, making real good money. And I just remember busting out crying, like, man, why y'all ain't together? I ain't say that, but I probably was just like, I miss my dad. Why he not here? You know what I'm saying? Type of thing, like, and being a product of a divorced marriage, you always kind of feel like no woman is good enough for my dad, no man is good enough for my mama. Only my dad and my mama are supposed to be together. Like I had that thought for a long time, which is why didn't, and probably anybody that has step parents can say like, oh yeah, I didn't really like them to begin with at first, which I didn't. I did not like my stepmama, and only because she was strict and she didn't baby us, which I appreciate so much now as a grown man. Like I appreciate, because we were balanced. Like we got that nurturing at my mom's house, but when we got over there, it was like, I nurture you a little bit, but you gonna have to get with it. And then my mom remarried, so it just, like I said, I went to college, grew up away from home, because like my parents went to college, my mom went to college, my dad went to college for a little bit, but like none of them went. Well, my mama went away, but not too far from where she grew up. But I went away to a big college, and I had all these experiences and all these things I was witnessing.
My guy made the billboard over there at Mississippi State too.
I ain't making billboard. I had a little poster, a little magazine.
Man, my guy was in the magazine. You know what I'm saying? Magazine Dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Magazine
my boy was out there.
I always think, when I think about that, I always think like God. Maybe I think God was trying to tell me something. I always felt that way. Like maybe I was meant for. It sounds like bad, but like meant for a certain type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Because it happened like out of nowhere. I'm like, bro, I'll just take a picture. And it's just all over Mississippi State Recreation Center. And people like messaging me on Instagram, bro, that's you. And people like the old women asking me to sign their magazines, bro.
No, I thought, boy, thought you about to go left, boy.
Nah.
Them old women asking to sign the magazine.
Nah. They was asking me, I know you just gonna be famous one day, so go ahead and sign this magazine.
It's like, yeah, come back and plot. Anyway,
that's
man,
crazy.
so man, bro, it's yeah, because again, I'm married to somebody who is who has divorced parents, and who and she has a stepmom. And it's funny you bring that up about, what does that do to a kid, because like it or not, man, you in the profession of counseling kids, so you have to build rapport with them.
Yeah.
Like you can't go in there thing like, all right, I'm the adult, you the kid. This how it goes.
Be quiet.
Like you have to build that rapport. So now you got a stepmom and a stepdad. You know what I'm saying? How did they work to build that rapport with you? What was kind of the setback, and now what is your relationship like, kind of with both of them, like with your stepmom and your stepdad?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, like I think we all the stuff that we talk about now as grown people, like it definitely always had been going on when we were kids. Like I don't want to date no man with no kids. I don't want to date no woman with no kids, type of thing, right? So, looking back on it, I feel like both my stepmom and my stepdad at one point in time were probably like remorse to like have been dating somebody with kids, right? But for stepmama, she was all the way involved. Like, she was all the way involved. She, cooked for us, cleaned, bathed us. Like, she would bathe us, bro. Cause that's when she came into our life when we were still pretty young. She would bathe us, teach us, how to clean ourselves and stuff, brush our teeth, lotion up. So she always been like in our lives, doing stuff with us, hanging out with us, talking to us. But she had a firm hand. She had a firm hand. Whereas like my dad might let us get away with something. Or even my dad didn't. My stepmom would be right there telling my dad like, "Hey, you being too hard on him." Especially my little brother David. Like I know for a fact that even though I've never seen it, I just feel it in my gut, in the spirit, that my stepmom has been that person in my ear to help my dad with his relationship with my brother. Because for some reason it's just not smooth in that territory. But like, I feel like my stepmom always been like telling my dad, "Hey,"
an advocate for David.
For David, yeah. I don't think he was to see that, but I always felt that she was there after we got older. So stepmom, I'm gonna ride about. She, 10 times, that's my lady. You know what I'm saying? Now, my stepdad, I think being a man is just like being I don't want to get too deep, but like, I ain't like my stepdad for a long time. I ain't like him, mainly because it was like, you dating my mama type of thing. You not my daddy type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like doing stuff, being out, he didn't do that. Like, he didn't like, I got love for the guy, but like, he didn't like spend time with us. Like, he didn't go outside and throw the football or play basketball with us. I remember him doing that like one time. Him and my brother definitely didn't get along for a long time. But he didn't like do as much as my stepmom. Like, if my mama heard me say that, she would, oh my gosh, lose her mind, because she's like, "He took y'all in." I'm like, what, he gonna leave us out? He marrying you. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's something she would say. But being an adult and looking back on it, like, there wasn't really much interaction, but outside of like talking about football. Like, he'll say, "You gonna watch that game tonight?" Yada, real, like,
real on the surface.
Real on the surface, man. I'm talking about
nothing deep. We talking about
nope.
And saying something you can send me an email or a text.
A text message, yeah. He'll say, you watching that game tonight? Yada yada, like, and be like, "We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about that." You know what I'm saying? For the most part. But that's it. Nothing deep. Like, my stepmama still texts me randomly to this day. We all in a group message. Like, true, I could probably pick the phone up and call my stepdad, but like, my stepmom always made effort. Still making effort. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if something big happened, congratulating us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my stepmom is a part of my life. I don't necessarily feel like my stepdad is a part of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you my mama husband, but like, outside of that, you know what I'm saying? You greed. And I appreciate for what he did do for my mama, because that allowed my mama to do stuff for us. Like, I'm not gonna be ignorant to that, but like, when it comes to like being there for kids and that interaction, my stepmama, man, she was. I don't got nothing bad to say about the lady. Like,
man, shout out to the bonus mom, man.
For real.
Shout out to the bonus mom. Shout out to the bonus dad too.
Shout
out to the bonus people, man. Hey, look, because that's been, man, that has always, like, even like man, because there's so many people out there, bro, who don't love kids. it's so many people out there who look to do harm to kids.
Mm-hmm.
And man, for me, man, that has always been in the back of my mind. Like, man, how did they know that this person? Because it's not just the right person for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not, but it got to be the right person for like your kid, bro.
Yeah.
Like the person that because you got two other humans that depend on you, and you gotta go back out here, and you gotta find somebody that's not only good to you but good to your kids, bro.
Yeah,
And
both of them were, you know what I'm saying? Both of them were, but like, as an adult now, and just looking back at it, like, dang, bro, Dana, that's my stepmama. Dana was just so involved, like she was involved, like she was like, that's not how you do this. Like she is. When I started dating my wife, her and my dad were at Miss Skilly's buying a couch or something, or a furniture set. I told, tell the news like, hey, I got a girlfriend, blah blah, right? But at this point, me and Angelique had been dating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so months, right? This summer, I'm getting ready for grad school. I'm working. Well, I'm not working yet, but I'm getting. But I haven't. I graduated, and the spring semester I didn't have a job, right? So, and shout out to Angelique. You know what I'm saying? She took care of the boy, and I'm kind of cringe at that now, but she's always helped me, been there. Anyway,
man, we're gonna get the wise on real.
Yeah, we'll get them on one day.
Bro, we're gonna have to get the wise on for Mother's Day.
I guess.
I'm stamping it, bro. Hey, the wise gonna pop up, man, for the Mother's Day episode, bro. We gotta have both, bro.
I guess. But she went there and saw that they were like, I guess hiring for seasonal help. So like, some help in the warehouse, bro. Bro, I went over my dad's house. Got home from college. Went to my dad's house. My stepmama looked at me and said, "You need to go to Miss Gillis. They hire. Cause don't no woman want no broke man." I was like, and this the thing. I have never worked a hard labor job. Like I worked at Camp Ozark, which is just fun in the sun type of thing. But like,
it's different. Hard labor job.
Like hard labor job, blue collar workers. I will always have respect for them people.
If you ever see an old mechanic, like the mechanic that I got working on mine, if you look at his hands, bro, the men like our dads and back in the day, them jokers built different. That's why you don't need to play with them.
Nah, don't play with them. So
don't play with them. Joker that build furniture, man. Look, they ain't got nothing to lose.
Look,
they ain't got nothing to lose,
bro.
Joker, they can unscrew a screw with their hand, man.
Bro,
leave them.
I can honestly say that I'm one of them people. Cause it ain't a lifetime worth of work, but I had a few hard labor jobs. I worked at FedEx for a couple months too. And that right there, my gosh. Anyway, so she was like, "You need to go get a job. You need to go here. They hiring." And just looking over the past, man, I got so much admiration and respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I'm not your child. But yet, you always
took care of him.
And I don't, I gotta say something. Cause my mama might feel some type of way. My mama always feels some type of way. But like, mama was always there, took care of us, loved us. But just telling it for what it is, man. Stepmama was there too. You know what I'm saying? When we went over there, she didn't treat us like we were step kids. She treated us like we were her kids. So.
But man, I think that's my biggest question too, is because that's something I had to learn too, and I don't want to keep dragging it out or anything else like that. But man, when there's certain decisions, that as grown-ups now with parents, and then you got a son and stuff like that you have to make, and that you have to be sensitive about, just like you just did a few minutes ago. You was like, all right, well, I don't want to upset my mom by saying this. Well, I don't want to do this to my dad because or what have you. Like, how much of a toll, man, does that take on you now being an adult with your own family, with your son, and you have to make decisions with the consideration of both mom and dad because they're not together. Like he got his own family, she got her family, and you have to include like for me when I go home, I just go to my mom and my dad house.
Just go home,
You know what I'm saying? Or I just go, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Cat or anything like that. But when I just go home, I don't have to make the decision of, all right, I gotta go see my dad. All right, now I gotta go see my mom. I gotta split the day.
Yeah.
Like, man, what does that do? What does that do to the kids? And I kind of want you to speak to the folks that's listen to the podcast, the men that's listen to the podcast, the women that's listen to the podcast, that's on the edge of saying, man, you know what, I can't do this no more. And I got kids, but they just gonna have to, they gonna have to just deal. You know what I'm saying? Can you speak to them and speak as that kid and tell them, hey, like, bro, like, can you speak to that?
Speak to being a kid that's got a split time between mom and daddy.
Yeah, like as an adult now, you have to now.
Oh, got you. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's one of the big reasons why
what
I don't.
What strain does that put on? Does that put a strain on? Like what
It does.
We'll go into it.
It does because I don't go home as often as I probably should. Because when I go home, for one, I can't stay at my mama's house because it's the house need a lot of work. In short, the house need a lot of work. I can stay at my dad's house. They have a nice house in Presidential Hills. But then if I told my mom that I'm staying at my dad, she would feel some type of way. So I don't go home as much because when we go home, we have to get a hotel. And hotel costs money. Mm-hmm. So
and the podcast ain't blue just yet. So
it ain't blue just yet.
Y'all trying to help my boy out with the hotel, man. Go ahead and blow up the podcast. Share. Subscribe. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Blow this thing up.
For real.
My boy tried to get in the hotel so he could go home.
Try to go see my people, man. but the hotel, we got to get a hotel whenever I go to Jackson. And we usually don't stay for a long time. It might be a day or two just because it's hotel fare. When I do go home, I got to plan to see my mama, plan to see my daddy. And kind of at their mercy too, unless I tell them beforehand I'm coming home. So I have to text. I might have to, if I'm only going home for that day and coming back that same day, I gotta it gets stressful. It's a little stressful. It's like, and I want the people that's listening, I want y'all to be better than me because I definitely I could be giving more effort, but I haven't for the simple fact that I've been making excuses, but and I'm better now. But in the beginning, it was just like, man, it's too much. Now the hotel is still too much, but be better than me for sure. I talked to him, but at one point it was a lot. It still is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I always feel awkward when we had our baby shower. And my stepmama was here, and my mom was here, and my dad was here. It was just, I was on fire in the inside. I was so uncomfortable, and so it's those things. But as an adult, it's just like, can y'all get past? Can we get past this? Can we just be adults now? All the other stuff, in that regard, but divvying up time it still can be stressful because it's like we live down here in Gulfport, so my wife's entire family is down here. My entire family is in Jackson, so by default they get more time with Jonah, whereas my mom and dad, they don't get to see him. They haven't seen him in a while. You know what I'm saying? And so that type of stuff I don't talk about it to my wife or anything, but I definitely think about it a lot because be careful, buddy. Be careful. Because I definitely want want it to be balanced and stuff like that. But it's kind of hard because my people 3 hours away. You know what I'm saying? So, it's that standpoint, and I ain't gonna lie, man. It was one point I always thought as a kid, since my mom. This is just backtracking. As a kid, I thought that I was gonna divorce. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's how it worked. When I started understanding, family history and stuff. Like I thought, like, man, maybe what if when I was younger, I used to think, am I gonna divorce my first wife, and live this life with seeing the kids on the weekend and whatever. So I like being that my parents divorced. I thought about that, and at one point in my life in college, I was scared to get like close to somebody, like real close to like married, like if it was gonna go that far. 'Cause I just didn't know, like, for whatever weird reason.
I ain't even never think about that too. It's like, how does that play a part with you now in your marriage? It's like, does it? And I think if people be honest, the D word creeps up into your mind when you going through these flows.
Oh
of
my
marriage.
gosh, yep.
Man,
Talk
bro.
about it.
But
Talk about it, bro.
I think about that, man, and you know something. Not only the fact that I love my wife and I couldn't see myself without her, bro. What drives me to now, because I'm trying to work to be better at it when it comes to like us disagreeing and going through those ebbs and flows. It's one thing to lean on God and ask Him, hey, what do I need to change within myself? But it's also the fact, bro, I cannot picture a life, man, where I come in this door, bro, and I'm the only one that got it, and I'm the first one to cut. I got to cut my lights on and cut my lights off. Like, it's dark in my house. And I mean this, like, my kids somewhere else. And what's really going to infuriate me, bro, if another dude, because I don't know you and I don't trust you out the gate, because I don't know you.
But it's just like, it's all of
it's
that.
It's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. The moment you put your hands on my kid, bro, you going to get divorced because you ain't going to be here. It's over with. That's facts, dog. Like, so that for me, and a lot of people think like, okay, well, Jason, you draw from your parents because you seen your parents stay together for a long time, bro. Marriage is two people individually. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. Two people individually committed to being with each other. Not because I seen my mom and dad stay together, and I say this for you, Wontae, and it's not because I seen my mom and my dad get divorced. Like, it's not. I think we have to be careful about what we say about generational. It's not a generational curse. You choose to.
No, I don't think that's a generational curse. I just thought that, like, when I was younger, I used to be like I used to, like, my daddy bald head. If I'm gonna be bald. My daddy got a divorce. My mom and my dad got divorced. I'm gonna get a divorce. But like, definitely, like, the D word definitely creeps up when you go through hard times, because I think it's natural. But it's just like, when you do think about it, it's like, unless you just having all types of problems. But I don't think myself and you and your wife and me and myself and my wife, we're having anything outside of the normal marital like disagreements and adjustments and stuff like that. Like, it's completely normal, but because the good definitely outweigh the bad. That's right. In the grand scheme. But it's definitely something that people you got to work at. You definitely got to work as a working process every day. Like, just yesterday, my wife made me mad in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we gonna start the Friday like this. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, that she made me upset, and she apologized, whatever. But we move on from that. But that's just part of it. But being that my parent got divorced, it definitely makes me want to hold on. Like, when we have those things, those problems, it definitely makes me want to like
stay with it.
Yeah, it's just like it sucks right now, But like, and it makes me be mindful of what I'm doing, what I'm, seeing, what I'm around. You know what I'm saying, and who I'm around. Like, my homeboys from college is just like, it's getting to the point where they don't really serve a purpose in my life anymore. You know what I'm saying. Every once in a while, I'll hop on the group call and just, shoot the breeze. But for the most part, I'm just, looking at the messages and going by my business. But definitely the divorce, since my parents got divorced, being that my parents got divorced, it definitely made me look at marriage like I gotta hold on to it no matter what. Right. Like, if we having problems, we need to talk about it and get past it, because I asked my dad why they got a divorce, and he told me, you know what I'm saying? And he took full accountability for what he did, and he told me stuff about my mama that I never knew. So I was just like, yeah, it was probably best that y'all just go on by y'all business. You know what I'm saying?
And you didn't need that as a kid. You can understand and appreciate it now because you're a little bit more.
And that's why I try to tell my brother, man. We were talking one time, and I was just like, it just as an adult and talking to dad and hearing him say what he said, it's just like, I get it. I'm not mad.
Yeah, I mean, and even with your brother, man, he has to come to that himself. And then sometimes Wontae, we can't call the alligator big mouth until we cross over the river. You know what I'm saying? We don't know until we know, bro. You can't call it. This is what I'm saying, bro. How you know the alligator got a big mouth if he ain't crossed over the river? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, bro.
You said like he won't know until he get married or some type of thing. He
won't know until he kind of wanna know, in a sense.
I
got certain things like your brother is kind of going through life itself, and then you got to think about this too. If nobody has, in a sense, and I'm just shooting out there. I'm not saying that nobody's ever not been there for him, but if he's felt like nobody's ever been there for him before, it's gonna be very hard now as a man to feel like somebody's there for me now. That's just, you know what I'm saying, that's just something to think about. But man, a lot of love to your brother and everything else like that, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you sharing, bro, because I feel like me and you starting to get to know each other on a much more deeper level, even though we've been born for 20 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You like my brother. Yeah. But speaking of brothers, on next episode, man, we're gonna be talking about siblings, man. We're gonna be talking about our relationship with our siblings. We're going to be talking about how they affect us now and how certain things, interactions we had when we was younger, how they affect us now and how we can kind of get beyond, get better, and be better for our families now. Yep. What else you got, brother?
Man, it felt good. I mean, like, I don't want the episodes to be, I ain't like that I was doing the most of the talking, but it was good to, like, kind of talk about that, because that ain't something I ever really just talked about. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my wife, we might talk about it here and there when stuff come up, but like outside of my wife, I've never talked to anybody that don't know, and I could tell them like, yeah, my stepmama really played a big part in helping me become the man I am. You know what I'm saying? Alongside my mom and my dad, but my stepmom was a real big part. I got introduced to a different work ethic, different things as I got older, and realizing what my stepmom was doing for us and what she wanted us to be as men. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's always that thing, because they won't say it, but I know my mom, sometimes I can feel it, when I bring up something about my stepmama. I could just feel it, and I just want my mom to know, like, hey, like, you gonna always be my mama. Like, Facts. You gonna always be my mama. Nobody can take your place. Facts. You know what I'm saying? But I am gonna be honest and let people know and let you know that my stepmama contribute also to shaping me as a human. She did. I'd be lying if I say she didn't. So, I love you, mama. Yeah, I know you don't listen to these, but if just by the off chance you do.
Mom, pull up to the podcast. We need your support. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bonus mom, step up to the podcast. Let me tell y'all something, man. If y'all want good, solid podcasts, if you done made it this far, drop a comment about what y'all want to hear us talk about. You know, ask us any type of question that y'all want to know. And man, look, this is MLU, the show for men like you.
Men like us. Hey man, I think in the future we might have to change the PLU.
The what?
PLU.
PLU.
Yeah.
What's this? People like you?
People like us. Yeah.
People like us.
Yeah. More inclusive.
I get down with it. I get down with it.
More inclusive. More
inclusive.
Yeah, that's what I said. Right, more inclusive. You know, because if we talking about things other than just what men feel like, it's just something to think about. You know,
I can you
know what I'm saying? It's something to think about.
We'll take it up to the board and we'll talk to the board.
We'll take it up.
You know what I'm saying? We take. You know what I'm saying? We got to check in with HR, make sure everything.
You know, check in with our agents, our managers.
You know what I'm saying? We talk a big talk right here.
PR team. What y'all think about changing this name?
Hey, the podcast ain't always. Hey, today's price ain't yesterday's price. So I just want y'all to know that we on episode 9. That we just joined here 100. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we gonna be at anybody interviewing table.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But hey, MLU the show.
We out.
Like you.
We out.
She talking slick in the city like they Billy Crystal. Couldn't afford the Applebee's, we had to eat the crystals. And the Mickey D's, and the Burger King. I'm feeling blessed now, just had a mini-me. And I know right now they ain't feeling me. And I know right now they ain't hearing me. And I won't ever stop, I got that energy. They throwing stones, I won't quit this for infinity and beyond. Ain't got no